everyone, this is Julie from the Kevin and Julie Personal Wellbeing and Financial Health channel. I'm super stoked to be talking to you today about how some simple techniques of organization can save you a lot of headaches and stress. So yes, again, I'll be talking about ways to stress squashing techniques. So I'm a very organized person, and I've always used organization to help me better plan my day, be more organized, to be able to have less stress, and really have a healthy mental health. For me, that's something that's really important. And so today I really wanted to share sort of the different experiences, the different things that I use to organize as part of my daily life to help me have a personal well-being. So yes, when you think about organization or organization techniques, there is some work that needs to be put into, and yes, it's not always fun because a lot of us want to go with the flow, have fun, and not be too busy. But I'm here to tell you that you can still have that by being organized, and how organization can actually help you have more flow and have more fun in your day. Because the work that you put a little bit ahead will actually alleviate and give you way more time during your week. So I want to share a few things. The first one that I wanted to share is just plain organization around the house. So there's so many ways that you can be organized around the house that can help you be more relaxed and have things in order. The first thing that I want to bring up, and I'm probably going to make you laugh, but it's that crazy Tupperware cabinet that we have in all of our kitchen that is always messed up, that we're always having trouble to finding the right Tupperware that goes with the cover, stuff like that, or just generally finding things in our kitchen while we're trying to cook dinner or lunch or anything like that. Well, one of the things that you can do is actually organize your kitchen like you would do with any other thing in your house. I really love to incorporate organization within my house. That way I know exactly where things are. So yes, I take a little bit of time to plan out, to organize where I'll be placing everything in the cabinets or around the house, anything related to papers, related to budgets or bills or anything like that. So I have sort of like a system. So for example, the kitchen, well, I've organized the kitchen in a way that I can have the spices really easily when I'm trying to cook, and then knowing where all of the different pots and pans are to make it so much more easier. I love cooking. I'll say I prefer baking, but this is really a way for me to keep me organized and that I spend less time in the kitchen and more time doing more fun stuff by being organized. And you can do the same thing within your house. So for example, I know myself and Kevin have a lot of family sort of souvenirs and things that we have from our childhood, and we really wanted to keep a lot of them. So within our basement, when we renovated our basement, we organized a specific cupboard where we would put all of those different things. And so we found these great big plastic bins that you can use and you can find at any hardware store. And we use them to actually place different things in all of them. So for example, I have a bin for things from my childhood, and Kevin has one for his. We're very big on celebrating Christmas, Easter, Halloween, stuff like that. And so we have different bins for all of them, and they all have a specific order, so when we need to take them out, it's so much more easier. Yes, it does include us sort of spending a little bit of time organizing and figuring out where all of everything will go, but it just makes it so much easier. So when I'm ready to, for example, decorate for Christmas, well, I know where all the decorations are for the Christmas tree, everything that is related for outside, everything that's related for inside, and makes it so much more easier. And that for me is really good in relieving that stress because I can actually put the energy towards enjoying decorating for Christmas. So that's one of the things. And then there's so many things around the house, like organizing your garage with shelves to make it much more easier when you're trying to find tools. Things like having a specific office section with a cabinet for all of your paper and bills, so then if you're looking for information or if you have to make calls, I know if there's anything related to any companies for telephone bills or TV or internet or anything like that, we have specific folders. That's how we sort of do it here to make it so much easier when we're looking for some information. So that's one of the things. Another thing that I use organization is when I'm trying to plan meals. So I talked about the kitchen and how being organized in the kitchen is good, but another thing is meal planning. So often it comes up and we're like, oh, what are we gonna eat for dinner? And I used to have a little bit of that, not too much knowing what I wanted to do, and since I'm not someone that fully enjoys cooking, it was a little bit more difficult and creating stress and taking so much more time within our day for no reason. So I decided to adopt a meal plan. So what I do is I spend maybe half an hour, maximum 45 minutes on Sunday, preparing my grocery list, because I know I do groceries every Monday, and then I meal plan. So I prepare what I'm going to be eating each day. It makes a little bit of a schedule, and yes, for those who like to go with the flow and don't like too much planning, this might not be fully for you, but you can still buy other stuff when you go to the grocery store. And if that day you really don't want to eat spaghetti, for example, well, you can completely change that if you want. But at least by having a little bit of that schedule, it's a little bit easier, and then you don't have to spend precious brain time to try and organize that meal, and you can put that energy towards something else. Because one of the things that I don't think we often realize is that we spend a lot of energy by just thinking, and sometimes we're so exhausted and we think it's because we've been so active, and of course that's totally possible, but it's more, not more, but it's actually another reason that we might be tired is that we're spending so much time thinking about different things. So that actually reminds me of an article I had read not too long ago when Barack Obama was the president of the United States. He actually wrote an article saying he would pre-make decisions really easily. Like, for example, he would always wear either a black or a blue suit for the week. That way he didn't have to spend precious time making decisions there. So by being organized that way and knowing exactly what he was going to eat and doing that meal plan, like I just mentioned, it made it so much easier, and he had more space for him to make decisions and put his energy where he wanted. So just another way or a quick example of how different people do it. And by being the president, obviously you're very busy. So for you and me, obviously it's a little bit different, but I mean, we're so busy with other stuff. If you have kids, you're running around. Any little organization tips that you can do to make it so much easier on yourself can make it so much more simpler. And if you have some kids, you can definitely include them and help them maybe either encourage them to cook one day a week if they're old enough, and even help them share some ideas for the meal plan. And that way it makes it a fun activity and you're still organized, and it makes things so much easier. Last but not least, I wanted to talk about when making big decisions. So obviously in life there's always decisions to make. Either you're changing jobs or you're trying to organize your lifestyle. And I found that using organization in that would make it so much easier to make decisions. Decisions are important. However, sometimes they're not always easy. So for me, one of the tools that I've used is organization. So when I specifically sit down and actually put some ideas down and do different perspectives. So my technique is actually scenarios to make better decisions. It really helps alleviate the stress, because I know then that my brain is actually looking at the different perspective. So exactly how I do this is I sit down, and when I know I have a big decision to make, either if it involves just myself or involves Kevin or anyone in the family, I make sure to create scenarios and sit down. That way, it makes it so much easier to look at the different perspective. And that has saved so much stress and headaches, because sometimes you're just trying to figure out different things, and by just writing it down and marking yourself big themes like, okay, how will this affect the lifestyle? Just being aware of the different values that you have, or how you want to spend your time, makes it so much more easier for you to organize a lifestyle that makes sense for you. So for example, I'll give the idea of changing jobs. I know at one point I was looking in 2 different positions and wasn't too sure exactly where I wanted to go. So what I did is I sat down and exactly this, I looked at the different scenarios, seeing what that made sense for me, what were the different elements that I was aware, ask questions if there's things that I didn't know, and it made it so much easier for me to really organize myself and make a decision on what best fit my needs as an individual. So these are just 3 things, like I said, that I wanted to share about organization. And one last thing that I wanted to mention is that there is so many tools today to keep us organized. There's different apps that you can use on your phone. You can use a journal to write down some ideas, tips and tricks, list if you like list. There's so many stores now that you can go and find ways to better organize yourself, have a better walk-in closet if you have one, or just making sure that things are organized in a certain way so when you're getting ready in the morning, you can maybe have 5-10 minutes more to sleep in the morning just because you're already organized. And that's actually something I do. I like planning out what I'm going to be wearing the next day. Then that way I can actually sleep 5 minutes more and just wake up and know exactly what I'm putting on. So these are just little things. It might not fit everyone, and if you are maybe not so much of a fan of planning out a lot of different things, this might not suit what you're looking for. But I still wanted to share today just because I think it's such an easy thing that you can do, and you can pick and choose what makes sense for you, for your family, so that you can use that technique of organization just to reduce stress. And I think that sometimes we don't actually associate the fact that when we're organized, we're less stressed. I think this sort of just came to mind because I know at work, for example, if I don't have a list of the different things that I know I need to do, it just creates more stress because it's sort of all in my head and I'm trying to figure out where everything's gonna go. So by writing it down and being organized, it makes it so much easier. And it's exactly the same thing that I do before planning a video, actually. So I actually have a list of different things that I wanted to talk to you about. That way it makes it so much more easier for me to just sit down and share my thoughts. Anywho, I hope this was useful. I hope that you're getting a few techniques today. If you like this video, please click on the like button. If you enjoy our channel, please subscribe to our channel. We would absolutely love your feedback and your support. Write some comments below if you have other tools or techniques or really great apps that you like. There's so many out there, so if you want to share, we can start a conversation about that. That would be really great. So thank you again for watching. I hope that you enjoy these videos. From our living room to yours, have a wonderful night, and thank you.